Hello, beautiful humans. I'm so excited to welcome you to today's topic, the 4 momentum pillars you must know that drive results in your biz and anything important in your life. And this is a workshop that's part of the Beyond Maybe to Manifested theme we have going on here at 5 sites and in the Bravery Lab. And before we get into our topic today, I want to give people a chance to hop on. And I want to say hello to any of those people that I haven't met before. If this is the first time that we're meeting, my name is Lindsay, and I am a confidence follow through manifesting mentor for highly sensitive, ambitious humans. And I help people get their soul on fire, feet in their vision, feet on the ground, and head in their vision. So when it comes to manifesting what we want, tangibly creating that business, tangibly creating that dream career, that dream position that we see ourselves in an organization that we really love, or whether it's about our creative expression, becoming that well-known author, becoming that musician, that healer of the world. Well, we need those 3 things, right? We need a vision, we need the soul passion for it, and we need our feet on the ground. And feet on the ground is all about taking action. And so this is what we're really talking a lot about all this month in the Beyond Maybe to Manifested series. And today specifically, I'm going to talk about 4 momentum pillars that you must know that drive results in your business and anything important in your life. So let me know out there, would you like to see more momentum in your business? Are you tired of stopping and starting? Of starting a project, starting even multiple businesses at once, but not really taking them to any great success, kind of fizzling out part way? Or are you tired of being on the hamster wheel of really, really trying to push yourself, really trying to motivate yourself with a lot of will and a lot of almost like the shoulding energy, like, oh, I have to do this, I should do this, I got to prove to everyone I have to do this. And it's kind of got that negative vibe to it. Let me know if any of those are true for you, because what I'm going to share with you today could absolutely change that situation that is occurring for you when it comes to momentum. And of course, be sure to let me know and say hello if you're hopping on. When it comes to momentum, we need these 4 pillars, okay? And I'm going to explain what those pillars are and why they're important, and some of the mistakes that you might be making that are preventing you from really activating these 4 momentum pillars and getting that long-term momentum. Because we're not here, am I right? Let me know in the comments. We're not here to be like a flash in the pan, right? You're not here to be a healer that is here one day and gone the next, right? You're not here to be an author that's here one day and gone the next, or a coach that's here one day and gone the next. You are here for long-term impact, right? So we have to be able to generate our long-term momentum and get out of these highs and lows and these really big swings. Awesome. So you guys agree, some of these things are showing up for you. So that means that you are in the right place at the right time today for what I'm going to share. All right, so let's get into this. And hopefully I can still see the comments when I switch into presentation mode. Technology, it doesn't always play friendly. Okay, so let's get right into this, you guys. Okay, first of all, let's talk about will. Will is a thing that everyone, is commonly used to knowing as being the driver of action. This is the thing that I hear the most from people that are struggling to get into action. They're saying oh, if I just had the will, I just had the will to do it. And this shows up a lot when it comes to scary things like launching yourself into the world. Creating an offer that is so unique that has never been seen before and putting it out into the world and really standing true in your gifts, right? A lot of times I hear people saying oh, well, I'll do the easy stuff. I'll do the easy stuff, but I don't have the will to do the hard stuff. And then they get really frustrated with themselves and speak to themselves as though they don't have enough willpower. And it's not really quite about that, okay? So, will is part of it, but it's not necessarily the driver of action, because there's these four pillars. So, will and action are four pillars of momentum. Obviously, we need action and we need will, but they are in a relationship with two other pillars. And when I say they're in a relationship, they are in a dynamic relationship. Now, what does dynamic mean? Dynamic means alive. Dynamic means flexing. Dynamic means shifting and changing. So, this is the other mistake or misconception that a lot of people have about will and action and these two other key momentum pillars that I'm going to talk about next is that a lot of people think, well, if I had the will once, that means I always have it. Or if I took action once, that means I always know how to do it. And there's this, almost this assumption that there's a once and done approach to having will and a once and done approach to just knowing how to be in action or knowing what next step to take. And that's not true. It's a dynamic, flexing, alive, shifting, interrelating relationship with these two other things. One of those other things, the third pillar, is trust. And the fourth pillar is belief. Now, I want you to really tune in to the pattern of this infinity symbol. My tongue is like, blah, blah, blah. I need to do some lip exercises. Okay, so I want you to really tune into this. I want you to really think and even draw on the screen with your finger the motion of energy going around this infinity symbol. And what you're seeing here is a relationship, an interrelating between trust, belief, will, and action. And these four pillars move together. They reflect each other. They build on each other. And so when it comes to somebody who says, oh, I have a lack of will, it's not that they have a lack of will, it's that there's some dynamic off between belief and trust. There's some dynamic off between will and belief. There's some dynamic going off, not quite jiving between trust and action. So these things interrelate to each other, they feed each other, and they feed off of each other. So building trust. When we want to get ourselves into action, well, we have to obviously look at, well, how trusting are we of ourselves or the thing that we're doing? Then we have to look at our levels of belief in ourselves and the beliefs that we have, because the beliefs that we have are going to either fuel our will or it's going to shut it down. And this is something we're talking a lot about inside my Access Your Abundance program right now. We went through a whole 2-week series of deconstructing false beliefs because they are so, they're so integrated with our will to take action. But here's the other thing. Taking action also fuels trust and belief. So where you might start from, right? Where you might start from isn't always like, oh, I need to sit around and build my trust for 5 months before I get into action. What might actually lead to your trust is taking action. So for you, it might be like, okay, I'm just going to take a step. And then that's where the trust flows. And the more action you take, the more trust you build in yourself. And the belief comes up and the will comes up to do even more. So let me know if this makes sense, that it's very much a totally interrelated, dynamic relationship. Okay. Now, one more mistake I want to talk about that people tend to make is, again, this all I have to do is do it once. Or people reflect back on their past and they go, well, I trusted myself here. So I guess that means I need to trust. I should just automatically trust everything else I do from now on. And that's not necessarily true. Why? Why do we, have a lot of success? So why do we get a lot of success? And then all of a sudden, when we go to do like the really scary thing, and I see this a lot with soul purpose work, right? We can have a lot of success in a career that is kind of, kind of aligned to us, but not really. Like maybe we're good at it. Maybe we went to university and trained for it. And so we're in that type of career. And then we're confident because we've been there so long, we have experience and, we have a certain skill with it and we're confident. But then has this ever happened to you? Maybe this is where you are right now. Then you're like, oh, but I've got this soul desire. I have this unique gift that's kind of woo-woo, or like this unique healing medicine in me, or like this unique thing that I book that I want to write. And you go to work on it, and you go to put it out there in the world. And all of a sudden you're like scared AF and you're avoiding and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I so underconfident? Right? And it's almost like a surprise. Like, where did my trust go? Where did my belief in myself go? I used to have it, but now I don't. Well, this is one of the reasons why, because every time we go to up level, we go to expand. Okay. So every time we go to up level, it means we have a new variation of trust and belief, will, and action to build. And then we expand again, right? We do the thing, we take the action, we build the trust and belief, and we expand again. But now we're at yet another level that we have to reinvest into building our trust and belief and our will and our action. Okay, it's never a one and done process. It is a dynamic relationship. And that's why I call this model the dynamic state of manifestation, because it is a living, breathing, shifting, flexing relationship that could be changing every single day. Maybe every day you have to give yourself that little boost of belief and that boost of trust. And that is something that becomes a daily practice, instead of this like set one and done thing. So the message I want you to take away with you today, obviously, is about the 4 pillars. That you need belief, you need trust, you need to be building these things in order to build action and will. But yet at the same time, you need to build your action so that you can also build further trust and belief in yourself. So let me know in the comments if you have ever, if you've noticed, like for a long time, you've actually broken trust with yourself because you haven't been taking action. I know that a lot of people who are multi-passionate and have so many ideas love to start things, but might have trouble finishing. And while it can be really, really light enlivening, right? We get a hit of dopamine. We get all excited about creative ideas. They're very stimulating. Maybe we get that little hit, but then when we see ourselves not following through, that can really break trust. So one of the things that's really important that I work with people on privately and in my group programs like Access Your Abundance or Amplify Your Abundance is, how do we take action and how do we build trust with the right kind of approach so that we're not left in a situation where we're using methods that don't really have any longevity or sustainability to them. I don't want to say there's a right way and a wrong way to build trust and belief, or there's a right way and a wrong way to take action, but there are ways that serve you the best and have the kind of biggest bang for your buck. And there are ways that might not give you the results that you're really looking for. And so this is something that I can't go into detail with you right now, but something I definitely go into detail with and work a lot with people on in my private one-on-one coaching or my group coaching programs. So I wanted to invite someone forward for hot seat coaching today, which means this is going to be really interesting to see if I can actually see anybody and see the comments out there for anybody who wants to volunteer for that. This is a bit of an experiment too. Yeah, there we go. This is a bit of an experiment too, because I've never tried to do, mini hot seat coaching on a live stream with just text. Usually I'm in a room, like a Zoom room with people, and I can actually see you face to face. However, I'm all about having fun with experiments. So let me know if you have a question or if you want a little bit of coaching around something to do with the dynamic state of manifestation, something to do with your levels of belief or trust or action or will, how those things go together. If you have any questions about that, or if there's something that you are, you know, bumping up against in your life that you don't mind putting out into the public in the comment thread here, I will see if anyone here wanted to have a little back and forth text coaching hot seat today. And in the meantime, I guess I should go over the one other important element that comes into the 4 pillars of momentum, right? And that is willingness. Willingness ties it all together. What is a willingness to trust, a willingness to do the work to trust, right? A willingness to do the work to believe, a willingness to do the work of action, the willingness to open to where that takes you. That is why that little purple star in the middle ties it all out together. I can put something odd the universe. Lauren, I can put something odd the universe sent. Okay, go for it. If you received a message during this live stream and it came through you, if that's what you mean, it came through you from the universe, I would love to know what that is, even if it's odd. So if you can see, I'm sure that momentum, right? Long-term momentum, the 4 pillars, belief, trust, action, and will. And it takes, it really takes getting into those states to really make sure that those 4 things come together. Getting into your states of trust, getting into your states of belief, and getting into your states of will and action is really important for highly sensitive people to have mastery over. And if you're not sure what getting into state means, then that's something that we can definitely talk about, because if you want to build a business, if you really do want to build like a wealth, abundance giving, impact making business, as a highly sensitive person, being able to manage your state, having emotional mastery, and being able to bring up your levels of trust, belief, action, and will are really, really important. So what I'll do is I will drop a link in the comments to come have a conversation with me. I offer free strategy sessions called Insight to Action strategy sessions. And this is a way where we can have that face-to-face time to talk about what's coming up for you and discover for you, is now the right time to step where you want to step? Is now the right time to be in that action state and bring about what you want to bring about with the help of a mentor? To me, it matters that you are in your element, that you are aligned and you are on your path, more than it's like, oh, you have to work with me, you have to choose me. It's about you getting pointed in the right direction for you. So if I can't help you, then what happens on these phone calls is I'll let you know that, there's other ways to go about what you want to achieve. So take advantage of this free 30-minute discovery call. I'll put the link on how to book one of those. And before I hop off, we've got a question. Is there any specific order of us starting to work on those elements? Well, that's the thing. It really depends on your situation, which is why I recommend starting, having a conversation, and an insight to action call is a really great place to talk about, well, what's the best place for you to start, because based on where you've been. So I always think that it's really good to look at what you've been doing to build your trust and build your belief, because there's some instances where you might have been doing that, but just not just taking the next little step of action, like not even a scary step, just any step. And in that case, taking that step is going to be what, gets you started. But a lot of people, I'd say, maybe the 50% of people, it is starting with the beliefs, the beliefs in self, and exploring and taking apart those limiting beliefs and fueling, right? Investing in fueling the good energy of the affirming beliefs, the life affirming beliefs that really gets people to fire up their will in order to take action. So for you, it could be the belief center. The belief and trust, those levels probably have to come up, but we could definitely identify that more succinctly in a conversation. So I'll put that link to book one of those 30-minute insight sessions. And of course, if you're watching this on replay, if you have any questions, let me know and drop those in the comments. I'll come back and answer them later. Hope you guys enjoyed today. Let me know what you're taking away from this little workshop. And I can't wait to see more of you tomorrow when I come back for another workshop. Tomorrow, we're talking about taking responsibility and why it can feel heavy. And it's actually this today kind of, links to taking responsibility, right? Taking responsibility for what we're manifesting, how we're manifesting, and how we're being for ourselves, right? 100% responsibility for all of that can sometimes feel heavy. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow and kind of how to work your way through that. So I'll see you guys back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. And hope y'all have a really great day. Love you. Mwah, mwah. Bye for now.